Okay, hey, and we're back with the Bat End Show again,
Hey guys.
as always. Yeah, I guess we're on episode 27 now.
Yay.
27 always feels like a special number to me because my birthday is on the 27th.
Oh, I was like, wait, why is it a special? It's like, oh.
Yeah, not really much about Mobage this week. Oh, yeah, Yayamiko came out, and I got her.
Oh yeah,
I got Ferret of Fortune. Got me Yayamiko in like only a few rows.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. I won the 50-50 like 3 times in a row and now, so it's like, man,
You know what that means?
it means I'm gonna forever suffer from now on. Use up all my luck.
Well, I mean, statistically, it's still gonna be 50-50.
Yeah, man, few things can turn people superstitional as much as gacha games can.
I suppose that's true. So, any other events besides just like adding new characters?
Yeah, they added some like new storylines, but they haven't really gone through it yet since I only did like really basic stuff.
Uh-huh.
And also didn't have like a shit ton of people I need to raise up since like I suddenly got a big influx of new characters, and I barely have any materials. So
Oh, that's how it is.
that's how it always is.
Well, I guess unless it's well for certain games, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Like Fate Go, I can usually raise someone to full like with that day.
Yeah,
But like a lot of games, it's like the material handouts are a lot stricter, I guess.
we've also been playing Fate Go for like several years though, so we built up a big stockpile from events and stuff.
Right. Well, like, I think it also depends on the mechanics. Like Frequent. Well, I guess it's only been a year
Yeah.
or whatever. But like, I feel like the material usage on that just keeps escalating, so you can't really build up much of a stockpile.
Yeah, Pre-Code is grindy as shit, and damn it's side games.
Yeah. Side games be like that.
Yeah. And they have a detective event going on that coincidentally we just saw that detective girl in the Pre-Code anime too.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I really doubt they timed it that way because like this was what originally like 3-4 years ago when the game came out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's pretty neat actually.
And then they've been completely neglecting Fate Go, so I have no idea what's going on in there.
Oh, Fate Go, I mean, right now it's still the Valentine's event, which I think is ending at the beginning of, like, on Tuesday or something like that. It's
Yeah.
in a few days.
Well, guess I'm not really gonna get much from that then.
At least they didn't add any, like, free characters.
Man, what if I should go for Buffett?
Yeah, I'm still wondering about that. But, I mean, it's pretty neat that she has something that's... Well, I guess technically it's not unique, but it's, like, much better implemented. That whole counter mechanic or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go into the animals we have this week. And, man, best show of this season, probably.
This is pretty cultured.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually wash our wigs. Like, wigs are always a bane of my existence. I hate wearing wigs so much.
Probably need to wash them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is pretty eye-opening if you don't actually cosplay yourself. Like, to be honest, I knew about this, but
I didn't.
wait, what? Yeah. You don't want to do it like, don't throw that into like the washing machine.
I mean, I know you're not supposed to throw it into a washing machine, but I didn't know like exactly how to clean it either.
Yeah. To be honest, it's mainly an issue of me not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah. Although she's like, oh man, this face like this little mouse thing is just so cute.
Yeah.
Instantly seeing roses, and I'm really surprised because like I always thought that like it's like she's like the big beautiful popular girl and he's like like Dote-kun. But like he has like really low like resistance to girls, but then so I always thought he was gonna be the one to fall in love first, but then like I guess she ends up developing the crush first.
No, I think for him, it might have started that way, but also, I guess there was that episode, like a few episodes in, he was like, okay, gotta make this need to be professional, gotta like, it's that kind of relationship. So he's probably not thinking about it so much like that, even if like there is an attraction.
Yeah, but I mean, even when people like try to separate it, that doesn't like usually it still happens anyways.
Right.
Oh yeah, like grandfather's like coming home with the cousin is like oh he had like these like lingerie stockings or whatever, and the cousin's just like, oh it's normal for like teenage boys have like a pair too. I was like, what?
It's like, is that how kids are nowadays?
I mean, if they're cultured enough, maybe.
Well, the question is like, I guess the normal implication is like getting like the pair from like someone else, but there's also the implication that maybe like maybe they just buy it for the like to experience it.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It's I guess no matter what, the whole point is it's just like Grandpa's like, what?
Or maybe nowadays people are like cross-dressing more often.
Yeah, like honestly, I was still wondering like, oh, are they gonna go into the cross-dressing like thing?
I hope they do. Although like from the OP and stuff, it doesn't seem like he's gonna cosplay himself
Yeah.
anytime soon. And yeah, like Grandpa came home and they saw the girls. He was like, "Yo, what the hell's going on?" And it's like bring out the dress and they're like serious like artist mode.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Like where, like after they kind of not figure it out, but kind of like clear up the situation. The two of them are just talking about it like in such detail and just kind of focusing on like the craftsmanship part, I guess.
I really like that when it happens in like anime or just other stories where like like crafts people who are like they're angry or maybe just doing some random thing,
Uh-huh.
but then all of a sudden like the area of expertise comes up and then they just like zoom in on that and just focus entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, oh, look. And like she's falling in love like hard, like damn.
She's she's a glass cannon.
Yeah.
She's a Matsuri.
Oh damn.
Well, like think about it, like when she attacks, she's pretty like, well, not exactly aggressive, but when things get turned on her, like.
Oh yeah. Like the Hoshikawa saga.
Yeah, it's basically that. It's basically that.
Oh yeah, and then suddenly like, mysterious girl with like the silky smooth dot.
She doesn't have a wig.
Wait, what is that? Why did that make it sound even worse?
Yes.
Damn. But yeah, so she just came like soaked in the rain, and Grandpa's just like, oh, you must be this guy's friend. Like, come in, just take a shower, wash off, and she's like, the fuck, like I don't have any other friends.
Yeah, actually, I like how he's like, wait, what's Grandpa talking about? It's like I only have the one friend.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if she counts as my friend. So it's like, did Grandpa get duped? Like, is this a scam? Like, it was so real because apparently that happens quite a lot actually. Like, where random people will call like elderly people in Japan.
Like olera. Like the scam.
It's like, oh, I'm your like great grandkid or something. It's like, oh, I lost a bit of money because of something. It's like I need to pay it back or something. It's like, oh, can you send it to me? Like that sort of nonsense.
Yeah, it's been so common that you see it like spoofed in anime quite often.
Yeah, so like it got pretty real right there.
Yeah, but also sad. Like man, he has no other friends, and they really framed it like almost like a horror movie.
Yeah.
At the time.
I mean, honestly, from his perspective, like not knowing any of this, like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Like man, she's pretty cute with like those like face.
No.
And then like he thought like, oh, is this like some middle schooler or something? Like no, like she's actually older than them.
Yeah. I think like, oh wait, I guess we can go into it later.
I love his face.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, I really like how she actually came to ask for the cosplay stuff, and then he misunderstood like, oh, we're this like doll shop, so he showed her the dolls, and she actually like became really interested.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's because he's used to it, like because they give tours of the shop and all that.
Yeah, but also like how she's like showing like genuine interest and actually looking closely at the dolls, even though it wasn't what she came here for.
Yeah.
And she could recognize like the artistry behind it.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, it's pretty interesting when she has this flashback to like, oh, like this new person cosplaying, and she's just like, wait, who's this newcomer? Who's this little bitch?
Yeah. So I guess those were the photos that they took when she first tried it on, and she posted it, I guess, to like Twitter.
I guess it's like when he like tried it on at his house, and then like, oh, going to con next day, so it's like she stalked them, and then like she's like, oh, this guy makes a thing, so she stalked him on the way home, and then like found his like where he lived, and was like, god damn, this girl, yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Pretty bad for a middle schooler.
Chắc con này yo. And then yeah, one's like, oh, make that Lily, and then we saw this in the OP where like this was one of the characters that like showed up.
Yeah.
So I guess it's part of this set.
I guess so.
Man, this Yuri like sister Yuri situation, or like oh like turning over to the dark side, man.
It's every magical girl show.
I love this kind of shit. But yeah, in terms of like more like recent-ish stuff we watch, like this makes me think like Happiness Charge.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
The purple one, Kira Fortune, I think, like her sister also like turned to the dark side.
Yeah. But yeah, the I guess mini anime they showed inside was like magical girl greatest hits.
Yeah. Also the whole thing like oh like having despair, like explosion of power, and it became like alter mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this like military uniform ish, like hot sexy mature woman design.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Juju wants to become this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. I like how this part where she. Well, it started from like all the way when she was like looking home, like oh, who's this new person, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, oh, like maybe this. I see this kind of like judgmental thing a lot in like otaku circles and like cosplay circles, where like oh like this person like she doesn't know the source material, she's only wearing the thing because like she's popular.
Yeah.
And,
It happens basically anything that can become hardcore, which is basically everything.
yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I guess it's because like I'm more involved in these circles, like or semi-involved, I guess.
Well, yeah, because we have a more, what do you call it, first-hand experience with it.
Yeah, so I mean I'm kind of in between. I guess like I think like people should like just it should be okay with like people just cosplay whatever they want, but like without even if they don't really know the character that well. I mean I do that to myself sometimes, but on the other hand I can kind of understand the feeling of like oh like I'm part of this and like so like but it feels bad with like someone who's like not involved or knows nothing, like just it just jumps in like meddles around. I guess. But yeah, so she was like really antagonistic towards her because like she thought she was like that, and she's like, oh, this person actually understands all these shows, and it's like, oh, so
Yeah.
just sudden like 180 is like so cute.
Right. Like, because basically she was talking about the show, and like, you know, she knows all the details, and like, oh, the character's on her bag right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like
Oh yeah, it's blocked by your head. But then she's like, oh, we should cosplay together, and then she like, no.
like you
No.
shut me down before you even finish. like how like she still looks like she's like enjoying herself even when she got shut down.
Yeah, because she's being shot down by her idol.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like even when like Juju was acting like all like antagonistic, like Kalin was just like crawling over and like just getting close to her and like oh fangirling over her so much.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is Precone.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. We went too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a good chance the other characters are gonna start coming in now too.
Hopefully.
Which I think the episode should be today, right?
Yes, it should be. Should be out either now or later today.
Yeah, so we definitely gotta talk about it next week.
I wonder who else still needs to show up. Well, I guess there's the childhood friend hasn't appeared yet.
Well, there's the two other cosplayers, I think. Is it two? There's that like the
Oh yeah, the one
darker skin one is one of them.
darker skin one.
She shows up in the opening at some point. She has shortish like light hair.
Isn't that just her like cosplaying another character?
Wait, is that her?
I mean, I thought that in that sequence, like all those 4 characters were just her cosplaying different characters.
Oh, was it?
But it was Shisu Tang, and then it's like the base
Wait.
sister.
Oh, am I misremembering? Because I thought she shows up as in normal clothes earlier in the opening.
Oh.
Like walking with a short girl.
Isn't that just Juju's sister?
Oh, is it?
And that person didn't. That that person didn't have like dark skin though.
Oh, am I misremembering? I might
know.
be.
Or maybe I'm thinking about the different people.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's childhood friend, and then there's also the girl cosplayer who like cosplays as like guys a lot.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that person's gonna be like important too.
Probably.
But yeah, I wonder what the childhood friend's gonna be like.
It's gonna be childhood friend's gonna be the one cross-dressing as a guy. There we go.
Oh
Yeah. Then it's just like judge.
yeah. Oh yeah, because like the whole childhood friend was like, oh, you're a boy, how come you like these like girly things? So like if she does a whole like cosplay thing to the guy, and that's kind of like
Yeah, exactly. That's a logical conclusion.
yeah. Yeah, I guess we actually have watched like 3 episodes since we were behind it for a while.
Yeah. So I guess like the first 2 were kind of like together.
Then flashback to I guess a big fight with like that. I don't even know what to call her, that evil god or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess this is it's a flashback, right? And not like a vision of the future. Well, it could be both.
I think it's supposed to be a flashback, but it also looks different from like other flashbacks we've seen glimpses of.
Yeah.
Like I thought we saw like the climatic battle like happened before, but in a different place. Like
Yeah.
on top of the tower or something. But then it made it seem like this is also the climatic battle.
Yeah.
I feel like that's Muimi.
Maybe.
I'm not sure who these two are.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Also, the evil goddess or whatever, like she mentioned like Queen Labyrinth, like, which like is Labyrintha. But she also said like the 7 crowns, or like she felt the 7 crowns nearby, which later on like we heard. Crap, I can't remember what name she called herself, but that like pink haired girl in the coffin or whatever, like
Yeah.
like they said like she's one of the names of the 7 crowns.
Right.
So like I wonder if they're kind of like administrators of the game or something.
Maybe. But then we flash to the what would we call this, current time?
The current timeline, I guess.
Yeah. It's a little confusing.
Yeah. And so like they run into Kaon, and like and then they're just looking like what? Like these gourmet kill people are eating monsters, and Carol's like, yeah, that's the reaction you're supposed to have, right? This is how it's supposed to be, right? I'm not crazy, right? But then she's also like, oh, but yeah, these guys they don't actually mean bad things, right? Yeah, they're actually like they're actually really like genuine.
Are they?
So like, oh, suck it up and eat it with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Carol like, oh, she finally has comrades who understand her pain and suffering.
Do they really?
Also, it's really cool like seeing them finally animated, because like I know Makoto and Maho from like the game for like a long time. I like Maho a lot.
Those were 2 of my earliest characters.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get Makoto until like very recently, but Maho was one of my first ones. And I really like the way she talks like that. Like, is it Kansai Ben?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, and then what is her name? Kasumi?
Yes, I think so.
Suddenly a shadow like turned into her, and I guess because of his power somehow like becomes more and more conscious over time.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Well, I'm sure it makes sense.
Yeah, but I always like this kind of storyline where it's like oh, something that seems like an enemy like starts to gain consciousness, and like you start like becoming friends with it. But this kind of storyline, it almost always ends with like the thing like being killed off or having some sort of tragic end. And I'm like, why can't we have this kind of thing where like they just like join the party like permanently?
Yeah.
Like it always makes me mad. Oh, funny, man. Like the action animation and stuff like those 2 episode pair is like so good.
They went pretty intense with this one.
Yeah. And Pecorini is like Princess Strike Excalibur. Also, I didn't really think about it until these last few episodes. But isn't Princess Strike kind of OP? Like thinking about it, like everyone else has their MPs and stuff, but it doesn't do as much damage as like Princess Strike.
Yeah.
And now think about it, like whenever they fight like a big monster, it's always Princess Strike that finishes them
Well,
off.
yeah. I mean, in the game, she's not really an
Wait.
attacker. She's a tank.
Yeah, in the game she's a tank, so Princess Strike barely does any damage, but then like in the show it's like Excalibur pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's definitely just Excalibur.
And then like suddenly like teleported and like this face of despair and like it just like claws in my heart like when I see it. Like but yeah, I guess the Yoga just like transported her over to try to like harvest her soul or something. I'm still really confused about what her deal is.
Right.
Well, I guess we're meant to be confused. But
It kind of seems like idea's not really, what do you call it, say defeating or anything like that, but more like doing that sort of thing kind of is a step for her actual goal.
yeah.
I'm not sure what you'd call it exactly.
But I also wonder like how much of it is just like fulfilling her goals and how much is just her like. Man, I think they should be like her taste, I guess, where like she's just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like the whole like reaping her like she probably wants to like reap like people's souls for like her goal or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like the part about making like Pecorino despair and when they have like despairing faces, it's tastier. That might just be part of her own taste coming into play.
The way I was kind of like thinking about it is like, is it the case that like strong emotions have like are equal more power or something to that effect?
That could be too, kind of like like Madoka and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really unsure about her in game.
Yep.
But yeah, like I guess it's kind of like this. Like they say like she has to be erased by the world because like she's like a bug in the system and she doesn't have a soul. But then from the brief memories he got, it kind of seems like she's actually like the cat that they say.
Well, it could be like the actual cat, or it could also be like her memories of the cat.
Yeah, I guess her memories of the cat like manifesting itself as like a soul of the cat.
Yeah.
So like maybe the cat's not actually in the game or not.
Yeah. See, the way I'm kind of imagining is like these shadows or whatever feel like I feel like they're the memories everyone lost.
Yeah.
Like fragments of them or something like that. And then this one just happened to like manifest more like solidly, I guess.
Yeah, well, something about his powers made her like manifest more solidly, but then because of that, like the other shadows also like try to reach her to. I guess they're just like instinctively drawn to her.
Yeah.
Just like a light for them.
Like, I don't get the impression these like shadow things are necessarily, what do you call it?
Malicious.
It's more like instinct or like
just programming.
Yeah.
But I see this trope in a lot of like fantasy sci-fi where like oh like the one thing like abnormally that like attracts all the other ones.
Yeah.
Queen Labrista looks so cool. So yeah, so I guess like it's because of him that like all this like time shit happened. But I guess this is part of the flashback towards after that climatic battle where like all of them were facing ruins and like for some reason like she's capable of, like it's just like rewinding time. I guess.
Like rewinding time or resetting things.
Yeah. So like their bonds get reset, but then that also gives them a chance to like go for a different future.
Yeah.
Like previously, we like whenever we saw Amis in space, like we saw this like broken machine. Like, I guess it's part of the system thing.
I'm assuming it broke after it was used, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, and the man, I don't know what to call her because I don't know her actual name, the Dark Goddess.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, Pecorino is like not fully despaired yet, so like, oh, send her back. Go. Man, this is such a common villain trope, but like, oh, you're not like I need to wait for you to like ripen, so I'm gonna like send you back to like go to continue your journey more before you come back here again, and then like it ends up like biting them in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this part, like, man, the action just like got so real and like even the BGM too. Like it was I think it was a remix of like the main theme, but
I think so.
It just sounded so good, and like everyone's like screaming for her and like. Really touching with like I always like the bond between like Carol and Pecorino and like really shift them together. just like the first season, and like Carol's like, oh, like you better win, like come back to us. He's like, ah. But yeah. Also, we rarely ever. I really like Piccolini's character a lot too here because like she's always like the happy-go-lucky like goofball and like always always hungry, also doing goofy things, always like keeping everyone positive. But then like you see, but like you get the rare glimpse of her like actually like being despair and like getting serious. And then her expressions when she was like coming down and like fighting the golems, that's like so like badass.
Yeah.
So if it feels like it adds like way more dimension to the character and like just makes me like her a lot more.
I feel like in lots of ways it's probably, well, not necessarily, not really 100% or anything, but like I have a feeling part of it is kind of like, what would you call it, like a mask type of thing.
Yeah. But like she's trying to distract from like what she's feeling inside by being like that.
Maybe.
But I feel like
Well, not like completely or anything, but like I'm guessing like there's some times where she does that.
yeah, but I also feel like there's a lot of like genuine
Well, yeah.
inside her. Like a lot of characters that act like all like happy-go-lucky will usually like the pink freakiers or like the love life, the love life centers, I guess. Like a lot of times it comes across as like kind of superficial, but with Pecorine it feels like very more like heartfelt and genuine.
Mm.
I guess in the way like she interacts with others, I guess, and how she like wins over the people in the town.
Maybe.
And this part of the end where like like Carol's like crying from like relief, and then like just like flip over and then Green just like hug her from behind while they were like sitting in the rubble.
It's pretty
like,
cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. I just love the two of them together.
This girl gonna die of heart attack.
Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always dying of a heart attack. But yeah, this thing, I guess it's one of the 7 crowns, and I guess her main consciousness is still like floating around, but then the body got taken over by or like got captured by the queen.
Something like that.
So I guess the shadows. This is what the shadows were after all along inside the golem, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like even though shadows are kind of just bugs, but she kind of controls them in a way, sort of.
I guess so.
Although there are also some that like escape her control, which is why she had like Christina and Carol go eliminate them too.
Well, it could be like it's not something of her own doing, but maybe something she just like
Takes advantage of.
Yeah, and then like maybe some of them break free, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. I wonder what the deal is with her. I'm guessing. Well, since she's one of 7 crowns, I'm guessing Ames is probably another 7 crowns. I'm not sure if it kind of sounded like Queen Labyrinth was not like included as part of it, since she mentioned Queen Labyrinth separately in the flashback. And then there's also that other person who's like the person who knows MS, who's like you see in the game that when you unlock the guild house, like onto like, the third floor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You get a little cutscene like her like, being sealed in or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if she's also another 7 crown.
Yeah, maybe. And then a completely different kind of episode.
Yeah, it's like serious, and then suddenly like another slice of life thing. And so like
This guild is useless.
yeah, this guild is even more useless than the Gourmet Guild. But I guess like Monica's like the only like semi-competent one, and everyone else
Is she
just
really though?
I don't know, but she seems more competent than the other ones though. Like it's just like reverse weave that's just like fucking everything up,
Just
and then
blow everything up.
and Kawaii Boku is also in this guild.
Kawaii Boku.
And then the super like Do M Kuka.
Oh yeah. Why are they all so useless?
Yeah. But apparently this episode also has like Saber, like
Fighting Saber
Yeah.
Alter.
Saber Alter. But yeah, like, so she lost her armor got taken control over by whatever that like weird jelly thingy.
Yeah,
is.
the slime thingy.
But I wonder why like she was like in hiding and just like trying to resolve it by herself instead of like telling her knights about it, because like so her knights end up misunderstanding and thinking that she's going berserk. But then she shows herself to the other knights later anyway, so it's not like she was keeping it a secret.
Yeah, at first I thought she was like hiding her identity or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess it after the later parts of the episode, it feels like more like a shame or like type of thing.
Or like once she resolved it by herself first.
Yeah, something like that.
But I feel like she should have at least like told the knights like, oh hey, like this berserking thing is not me.
Yeah.
But it felt a little like contrived, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this Kawaii Boku, like I kind of wonder like so So is she a girl or is she like crossing guy? But then like she seems to have boobs in the show. But then like inside the game, it kind of seems to imply that she like that's a guy. And I'm confused about which
Maybe there's a second one.
maybe. Like oh yeah, man, this Carol was dying of a heart attack.
Yeah.
This Carol face who was like ah.
But I guess basically everything combines together at the end
Yeah.
for some nonsense.
Oh, even the porn books are like inside there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like how like this guy and like Monica are like freaking out, but then like Nino is just like happy and Kuka is just like ecstatic about being in this situation. It's like god damn it, like why are they so useless?
Yeah. How did they get anything done?
They never get anything done. Just like they always broke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess he gets. Yeah, like I thought they destroyed the armor or at least broke part of it during the battle, but then she said afterwards she's just like wearing it like normal. It's like, yeah,
Magic.
Got fixed up.
It's like a magic.
Like a magic. Yeah, also
of
there's
magic.
like Saikyo Kenja and something weakest crest.
Something like that. Like, was it just one episode we watched?
2.
Oh, was it 2?
Yeah. So I guess I had a showdown between the two schools again, and like the first school guys.
Yeah, they needed like help from the other school for. I can't remember what the reason was.
Yeah, but this guy is so obsessed with like, oh, like first academy is like the higher in the tier with the better ones, blah blah blah, and he also like refused to like teach the wordless casting thing, and then like they actually brought the king along to watch a match, so they just like dragged him off for like less just instead.
Oh yeah, because he's like, oh, I have to uphold like the institution or whatever, like regardless of what the king says.
And the king's like, oh, you rebel against me, like dragged him out.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this one we were watching, but like this kind of thing happens in a lot of shows where like the leader of whatever organization is clearly incompetent. But I feel like it worked a lot in this thing because we know like the demons were kind of orchestrating things in the background,
Yeah.
so it feels like they intentionally put up like a puppet like as the head.
I guess that makes sense.
Like it makes more sense than like other things where it's like it's implied that the incompetent leader just like failed to the top. Well, I mean that's also realistic in a different way, but anyway.
Yeah, like man, after recent years, like I feel like I can't say any book is unrealistic because like even the most like unrealistic books somehow end up more realistic than what reality ended up being.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
But yeah, like I was thinking of that other video we watched on YouTube about like the Hunger Games or whatever it was, like how it's like this
Oh yeah.
advanced civilization is too stupid to exist, and like man that was so dumb, but at the same time like after recent years I can kind of believe it's happening anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
People were dumb, I guess.
Well, humans are dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I guess they need to go like try to train Iris like join the party. I thought she was already part of the party, but I guess I don't know why they needed this like training thing.
Well, no, for this situation, they needed like the core,
Oh yeah, that too.
but I think they were just using it as an opportunity
Yeah.
because like she's still strong, like in
I guess
her
she just
dragon form, but she can't actually like.
I guess she's just more clumsy in human form.
Yeah.
But she's also a dragon. But then now like they found a dragon and they're just gonna like beat it up. And even though like she can talk to it, she's just like has no qualms about like beating up her own kind.
Well, see, you say that, but like in a lot of fictions, like humans are the same way. They don't. You can theoretically talk like a bandit down or any other like villain, but like most of the time you just cut them down.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So I don't see the difference.
But also like a lot of times like, when people fight monsters, they like like I can't fight humans, but I can fight monsters because like they're not like sentient or whatever.
Oh, I guess.
But then they come across a monster like that's like it's also sentient and you can talk to it, but then it's just like fuck it, we're just gonna kill it anyways.
Yeah, because humans are trash.
Yeah. Man, Iris is cute. Iris is like clearly best girl. Like these two, they're just kind of.
Well, together
I
they
know.
make a girl.
Yeah, I guess they're each half a girl.
Yeah, they have to be together. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
That's adorable. Also, I really like her voice all the time. It's like Misa Risa voice.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah. She also voices like Diana, like the little like lollycat girl in Genshin. So I hear her a lot like in there too.
Oh. oh, wait, now that you say that, like, I think I've heard those sounds in the background.
I mean, you were the one who said just like, wait, is that Misa Risa?
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, and then that's why I looked it up. I was like, oh shit, it is Misa Risa.
That's because I know voices really well.
Yeah. Diana no toxic drink. Oh yeah, and, like the next one, like he's trying to build up the barrier, so so he has to send those two girls to go intercept the demons ahead of time, and they go like, oh, gate open, demon comes flying out, and boom, one shot KO. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so pathetic.
Yeah, that's so sad. Just like, what do you call it? Just falls to the ground.
Yeah.
And then like another dude comes out.
And like, oh, like he survives the first hit, second hit, poof, dies.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, close the gate. We're going back, boys. Like...
Yeah, this show is just like so goofy.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if there's more tension in the original, like novel or whatever, or was it also like this? And
I hope it was intentionally goofy.
Yeah. Then like more demons invade, and they're like, oh, everyone works together to take down one, but then a whole bunch of them appear, and then the main guy's also just like, oh, and then with the barrier comes up, massacres everything.
Yeah. And then like, oh, there's still those monsters or whatever that were like summoned from the ley line or something like
Man,
that.
they crammed so much into this one episode. What the hell?
Yeah, so it's like, oh, we gotta go outside the city and stuff.
Yeah, and like, and they just defeated everything so quickly. That's like, just felt like there was no sense of tension at all. Well, I guess this show won't really fit with like having tension in ways. It's kind of show where it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I just go with the flow.
Well, I mean, I would argue that's an issue with lots of these type of shows where you have like the OP character.
Yeah.
Like, there's never much tension in most of these.
Yeah.
So I feel like comedy actually works better in this case. Like, you don't really need tension for comedy most of the time.
Yeah. But also, like, it's like, why go to the whole bother of like having all these different setups and different barriers and blah blah if you're just like skim over it.
Yeah.
I still feel like this one episode probably covers like way more inside, like ground inside the light novel.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, like they went through all the trouble to like build up the barrier because of the invading monsters, but then they all killed all of them before they even reached the barrier anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, they didn't even need to do that. And then, oh, take journey time.
Oh, the journey to this goddess.
Yeah. Is this Noto Mamiko? I think it's Noto Mamiko, right?
I think so.
I need to look up the credits.
But yeah, totally different show now.
Yeah.
So, what's this thing called again?
Life is an ordinary guy who reincarnated into a total fantasy knockout.
Oh, that thing.
That thing.
But yeah, like previous episode, that one Kirito useless guy like uses skill like, oh, what does it do? And then Dark Cloud appears.
And like, oh, he just summons the useless goddess.
It's like, oh, turns out it was the actual goddess.
So, oh yeah, and all the like townspeople were like, oh, we're sorry for doubting you. We need to like bow down to you.
Yeah. I like how when she appears, she's all giant and imposing, but she has like the pillow and like the nightcap.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of wonder, like, did she get woken up?
I mean, she was actually like literally sleeping.
Well, I guess that's true.
And then she was like talking this chuny voice, like, oh, like, I sleep while you are awake. Well, it's only when your world falls into darkness that I wake up, blah blah blah. And like, and then the Kirito guy who's also chuny has like translate for them.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if like, is like this nightcap like always part of her like, what do you call it, dress, or is it just like?
I hope so.
Like, she doesn't even bother to take it off.
Yeah. I mean, she's the goddess of night.
Yeah.
And so apparently, like, whenever heroes come over, they get their strongest weapon or whatever. But she got brought over with her friends. So like, oh, maybe like she thinks that the friend's the strongest.
Yeah.
I mean, even if she denies it, like, it's still, I feel like deep down, like, she does think that way because like she's always like, oh, gotta rely on him to like like do this, gonna rely on him to do that, and even in the previous world, like he's always the one like cooking for her and
Yeah.
cleaning. And like, oh, buy a knife as a present to like try to get her to cook more. Like that's totally like a
Yeah.
it's like they're practically a couple for like
They're
a long
married.
time. Yeah, they're practically been married since they were kids.
But yeah, it's like, and I also like how the guy's like, oh, you're treating my sword well, right? It's like,
Oh yeah, the sword got eaten by that like living armor thing.
so is it just like, has it been like disintegrated basically?
I mean, they didn't manage to recover it even after beating up the armor.
Yeah. So like,
I guess it just got turned into magical energy.
is she ever gonna find out?
I wonder.
But then I guess like they leave this area.
I mean, the main guy offered her to like stay on and work there, but then like, oh, it's actually gonna like use her at the honey trap.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, gonna leave. And it comes past the squid thing. I think
Yeah.
this is probably the squid we saw in the ED.
Probably.
So I guess this entire town like worships squids, and then they're trying to like capture someone to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, they need like the most beautiful person.
Yeah, and this elf girl is like those like, oh, I'm the most beautiful. You're gonna sacrifice
So-
me. And then so like, oh, we bought a better one, and she's like, you again. These useless elves.
Oh my god.
Never trust the elves.
So wait, is she gonna get set free because she's like a lower tier? Like,
Oh yeah. Wait,
it's like, oh, off with you.
is that how it works?
I don't know. I hope it's gonna be like that. It's like, we don't need you now. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of more useless elves,
yeah.
then Lonti just brings along another person. It's
Yeah,
like,
she just brings like Callie over.
oh, yeah, that's what kind of Kylie. But yeah, I guess like every time she comes meets Kena, she always have like a runaway royal. So you know right away like, oh, this is probably a princess.
They have a security issue.
Yeah. Like one course, like Cerberus, Cerberwolf.
Is that the middle head?
I think so. Like they're
Okay.
like, oh, I'm scared, and Middlehead's just like like winking, like, oh, trying to be Ikemen, but it just like scares them even more. Wait, this happens so much in like all the like isekai shit. It always all these isekai they always have like the main character building a base like go soak in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Well, the other option is like similar, where it's like they happen to find one already there for some reason. I don't think it happens as often though. Or like,
Not as often. Usually it's like, oh, and he used like all my like great powers to like build this like bath out of nowhere.
oh, I could have I've seen this other situation though. It's like, oh, this like random dungeon just happens to have like a bathroom, like, or like a, what do you call it? A hot spring like room or some crap like that.
Oh, yeah, I guess that does happen like once in a while.
Wait a minute, wasn't there something like, oh, one of those shows like they were going up the tree and on the top there was like a hot spring there for some reason?
Wait, shit, that sounds familiar.
The slime killing thing?
Oh, King Slimes.
Yeah, for like 300 years or whatever. And then they go to like that great tree, but like turns out it became like a tourist destination instead of like a
Oh yeah, they had the hot springs inside the tree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hot springs in like random locations is the point.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's made in Japan. Like American version would like find McDonald's in the strangest places.
Yeah, find a burger, cook out.
Baby.
Man, I kind of want to see that where someone like tries to make this show like so animes, but in a very like American way. So you have all the anime tropes, but just like Americanize it.
Wait, isn't that the Jaden Smith thing? Like the big Toblerone?
Oh, you know, just this big Toblerone. Crap, what was that called? Like Neo Yukio?
Something like that.
Yeah, I still didn't watch it. The only thing I know about is that like you don't deserve this big Toblerone.
We need to watch the Boondocks, or you need to watch it. It's very animes.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. We I feel like you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, you showed me some clips and I really liked it.
Yeah, but it's like it's
But the Usher music video. Like, oh shit, I knew that shit.
yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of in the same kind of ballpark you're thinking of. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, this summons this white dragon out of nowhere. Like, I guess like when they say say doggy to like beg like to say Chin Chin. I guess we saw this like video of Healer too.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it's like, oh Chin Chin, and it's like Chin Chin.
Oh my god. And then speaking of Chin Chins,
Like oh like dragon like stood out and Chin Chin and like, they're like oh look closely and then look closely like dragon Chin Chin.
yeah, it's like, oh,
Oh this majestic dick.
is that what it is?
Man, her face is like oh curious we can't embarrassed we can't look away.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you didn't take a screenshot, but like in the next scene, like they're lying down, and like if you look at the position, they're close to the Chin Chin.
Oh yeah.
Like wait a minute, is
Yeah.
that intentional?
And you see, oh man, this name like Shining Saber. That's how you know it's from an MMORPG.
Yeah. See, I like this because it's clearly like you just had to pick that like either Chuny name or like the name you really wanted wasn't available, so you had to like pick random words until you got one that was available.
Yeah, like this is really realistic. Oh, I'm stuck with like the name Shining Saber now.
Yeah, but I wish there was like 3 X's in the front and 3 X's in the back.
XXX Shining Saber 69.
Yes,
Like smoke weed 420.
I wish. Like,
I wonder if he has like Dragon Chin Chin.
I hope.
Like, oh, you know this guild from the game. Like, oh, bro.
Yeah, man, pretty gay.
Yeah. Man, I like this moment like when I was reading the light novel a lot too. Though, like, oh, like they find like you finally find someone that like from the game, someone who knows like your old world. You're not alone in this world anymore.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like what do you call it? The human guy was there a lot longer.
Yeah, he was here for like 10 years, but then Shining Saber was here for 3. So I guess people get transported at different amount of times. It was like Kana like just showed up.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder what exactly is going on.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like the other thing we were supposed to be watching too. Like
Oh,
the one with,
the other Kenja.
yeah, the other Kenja. The one with like the Fussy Choco character.
Yeah. I guess it's a similar thing. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a similar mechanic.
Yeah. Oh, and then like my husband was trying to make the potion, and then suddenly,
Like, oh, I failed, so I got dumped in my like dumping ground.
and then these like lines of code suddenly show up.
Yeah, and then summons the moon cell,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what the moon cell.
which summons like
Linux.
yeah, Linux, corrupted Linux.
Corrupted Linux fanboys. These are what Linux fanboys like look like to me when they're like yelling on Linux.
Oh my god. So, I guess it's starting to go on rampage, and that's where the episode ends, basically.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess you probably read this part already,
Yeah,
right?
I did.
Okay, well, as someone who hasn't, because I don't know how to read.
You illiterate bitch.
I'm not illiterate. I'm better than literacy. Anyway, like, so I guess this kind of seems like it'll probably be a good excuse for, like, her to meet up with the other two or something. It's like, oh, other people, my peoples.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's what it seems like.
Oh, and my favorite novel. Like, I am mad scientist. It's so cool, son of a bitch.
Okay, so Arthur over here.
But yeah, I guess he is just Arthur.
Yeah, he's a gender bent Arturia called Arthur.
The original Arthur.
So I guess they go to like bunker looking thing.
Yeah. And like inside it's like oh sci-fi. And he's like, wait, what the hell is this sci-fi thing in this fantasy world? But like, to them, it's just like dungeons are all just kind of like weird and stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
So this like mad scientist she wants like work for the military and then create this thing that like put the entire like roof trees all the training grounds. And this became like really like well-known incident that like Alicia was like, what the hell did you do? Oh, it's dark. Like it's annoying like taking screenshots on Funimation.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, it's just Funimation.
But I guess it's just basically meeting up with her and discussing stuff.
Yeah, it lays out some of the groundwork for like it's kind of like how people like to come up like with when they don't understand something, they come up with really weird explanations. Like we see in the real world, like God created this, or like some ghost or some spirit that made like this disease happen. Which like even in our world without magic, like it already happens a lot. But like in their world, like since they do have actual magic, like the people's perceptions of like what's real and what's not, what isn't, is like, even more skewed.
Well, I think the implication is not necessarily that the world is like exactly like that, but more like what they call magic is closer to what we would call like just like some physics that they don't understand.
Yeah, but because it's harder to like see a causality type thing. Like people like because magic exists, like people are more. Oh god, they're they they're more lax with like associating just whatever explanation instead of like digging deeper for the answers. So
Maybe.
it's like you have less people trying to like do like science or their equivalents of science
Uh-huh.
to try and find things. So yeah, like it's just like the two of them like kind of understand each other more because of that situation.
Mhm.
And Dyson fan.
It's a Dyson fan. I kind of wonder if the author knows how Dyson fan works actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in a light novel, like he actually says like, "Oh, it looks like a Dyson fan."
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the way it's implied also makes it sound like it's supposed to work in a similar fashion,
yeah.
but that can't possibly be right.
How's the Dyson fan work again? I can't remember.
There's a fan on the inside. It's supposed to be fanless,
Yeah.
but like no, the fan is just obscured from sight.
Uh.
It's on the bottom part, and there's
Yeah.
just openings like
God damn it.
yeah. So it's a lie. It's all a lie.
This was a scam.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn it.
So you think it's like, oh, is it using some like
Oh, so you think
Like,
like, oh, it's a bladeless fan, but like, no, it's not actually a bladeless fan.
yeah, exactly. It's a goddamn scam.
Then why is it so expensive?
Because people will buy because it's a scam.
Dude. God damn it. Yeah, it's powered by this cursed door, and like, I like this explanation they had for it, where like people thought it was like they can't use magic around it, and like so it explodes, so they call it cursed ore. But it's actually just like pretty much like batteries. Like, it's just gathering magical energy, and then like it explodes when it goes over capacity. But you're talking about how it's like the analog to like oil. Right?
Yeah. In terms of like say strategic value, and like what do you call it? The real world parallel is like oil, petrol, all that stuff. Like before modern times and like the invention of say combustion engines, whenever people found like oil on their lands, like oh man, this is useless. This is gonna get away in farming and crap like that. So it's like oh, it's actually worse than like useless. It's like it devalues everything.
Yeah.
But then like oh, now we can actually make use of it. It's like way more valuable.
Yeah. At least I guess now it's also it has that added like religious aspect too, where like since they call it cursed ore, like they can get into trouble with a lot of like more religious countries.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess in terms of actual resource usage, like it's more like a battery where you don't consume it afterwards. You just use it as to like charge up things.
Yeah. And then I guess there's the whole thing like oh, this thing is definitely a valuable thing that we can't really let anyone know.
Yeah.
Like I guess there's the religious aspect like you're talking about, but there's also just like the strategic aspect.
But like they might get invaded if they're not prepared for it.
Yeah. So I don't think they covered it in this episode, but my first thought is like the same sort of thing you do with like advanced weaponry if you can.
Yeah.
Like you either bring it back home, or like if you can't, you blow that to pieces.
Yeah.
So my thought is, considering how these work, my thought is overload. Like if you have you don't want these to get into enemy hands, so
Yeah.
like it's convenient because you don't need like a separate set of explosives as like a self-destruct. You can use it as its own self-destruct.
Well, I guess it's kind of like a lot of sci-fi have like oh, we need to like self-destruct, we need to overload the reactor and like
Yeah. It's
nuclear meltdown.
It's exactly like that.
Man, this thing like Gundam wing
Yeah.
bullshit. Also, I think that like that F-35 that fell near in the South China Sea.
Oh yeah, what happened to it?
I don't know. Did they get the goddamn F-35 back? Did they destroy it?
Yeah, did America get it? Did China get it? Did Russia just come in like with a sub like, bye bitches?
You thought it was China, but it was me, Putin.
Maybe. He's gonna bring it to Ukraine.
God.
Anyway. Things getting too real.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, like she's too valuable. You need to like tie her down. And then he's talking to she like, hey, as a woman, how do you think she feels about Ludwig? He's like, oh, about 60% chance she likes him. Like women are hard to read. What about Ludwig? He's like, oh, as a guy, 99%. Because guys are easy to read. And I was like, that's kind of true.
Maybe. Too much armor.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, hey, you two want to get married? And he's just like, wait, Louis is like, what the hell are you talking about, Your Majesty? Wait, gets their hish now.
I guess this situation was so goofy to me. It's just like, oh, you want to be together? Okay, like, oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, deal.
Oh, the government will pay for it if you like say now. You gotta like quick act now. You get a deal.
Yeah, this is like, what do you call it? A weird sales pitch where you don't even have to try. It just happens for some reason.
Yeah.
like what just happened?
Well, I mean, he's a king. He can do whatever he wants, I guess.
No. Well, I mean, there's that, but like the other two are just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's more like that. That's our thing.
Well, like the affection was already like underlying there, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh. But yeah, so I guess the real reason they came here, which like they left until like the end of the episode, that like Genie stole some dragon bones.
Dragon bones.
But yeah, like I guess I didn't mention it until now, but like, it actually mentioned earlier in the book where like when they built some sedimentation ponds for like the the drainage system in the royal capital. Like they made some sedimentation ponds to like try to get like prevent like bacteria build up and stuff like that. And they discovered some dragon bones, but which suddenly disappeared. But like so they were scared for a while because they thought it turned into like a zombie skull dragon thing. But then like they never got attacked, so okay, it's not dangerous. But then dragons belong to this country called the Star Dragon Mountain Range, and which are also kind of they're kind of a big one of the big religions on the continent is also called like Mother Dragon worship, so they have a lot of like spiritual thing. But also like dragon remains are meant to like be sent back to them. So for a long time they were kind of like worried like, oh, what happened to these bones? Like, or is this country gonna be mad at them if they do something with the bones or they don't return it back properly? But then like all the war thing happens and they forgot about it, and then now like, oh, turns out she was a culprit all along.
Dun dun dun.
And then we got Genius Prince Dipshit.
The show.
I love the show.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and I just read the third volume, and this entire episode is like half the entire volume.
Oh, they speedran this.
They speedran it, and they skipped like quite a lot of stuff. I wonder like how much I should mention, because like I don't know if they're just gonna like ignore it completely or if they're gonna
They might.
like it's gonna like show up again later.
I feel like probably withhold is the best option.
I guess. Yeah, they name with like black hair. Well, it looks brown here, but like it's supposed to be like black. It looks pretty nice, like this color too. And then the trap like, oh, do you like me with like white hair or black hair more? And he's like, man, I know it's a trap. God damn it, I know it's a trap. And it's like, yep, can't ever win.
Well, I mean, he could have won. Like, there's more than two options.
Oh. Yep. Yeah, but I mean, you can always say like, oh, I like whatever color you have. But like, if you go with that route, then then she's gonna be like, take this seriously and answer seriously. Don't give me that bullshit.
I mean, you don't have to answer it that way either.
Like, how would you do it?
Like, they all right. Obviously.
I would kick you in the face.
I'll send you to Jesus.
But yeah, getting invited to Kaurin. Kaurin is a country that invaded and almost took over Marden, who they were fighting in the first arc of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and also, like you saw in the first arc, like you saw Holonie, he's the cat guy who looked like sketchy and shit. Like so he was basically the guy in charge of the gold mine that they stole. And also a lot of like collusion and stuff, and like trying to like manipulate people in the government, and then like when he got the invitation, Horonie was the one who went to his country to give him the invitation to go to cover in. So it's kind of, so everyone was surprised, like, whoa, wait, why are you on this side now?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so they got ambushed by Korean forces, or pretending to be bandits, and then got saved by the remnants of the modern army, and we had Sinnoh. Do we not have a better shot of Sinnoh?
Maybe later.
Yeah, but yeah, so like he's trying to meet the prince, and they're like, oh, like the prince
Is sick or something like that.
oh, it's kind of like he had his face burned, and then but I think, and like we're not really sure who Sinnoh is supposed to be, but I have a feeling that like she's actually probably royalty. But
Yeah,
you were thinking that this is actually a prince, right?
I think so.
But I think like based on the voice and the character design, I think it's more like a girl, and so I thought that they were more like a girl, and also like
Well,
just,
no, I'm saying like it's not that what do you call it? She's like a princess, but more like what do you call it? It's that thing where you like oh you carry yourself that way.
yeah.
Like or like they present or like the royalty presents like oh they have like a son rather than a daughter type of thing like
Yeah.
because family nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So the way I think I think she actually is a princess, and then she's either the prince is gone, or the princess, or like she's just like helping the prince without like letting him know that she's a princess.
Maybe. Wait, do you know an actual answer from the book?
I know now, but I'm just giving the theory from when I was like watching this episode.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that she's like from how she acted, like at this time, like, it kind of seems like she's gonna be like the princess of the nation, because like, she also been like like something like father blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
So it kind of makes it her sound like she's royalty. And they're seeing signs like the military leaders, like the ones who like ambush them. Oh yeah, the best nuns are the sexy deranged ones.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure this is Noto Mamiko too. At least it sounded like Noto Mamiko to me.
I don't remember what her voice sounded like, but it might be.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, like I'll support you to be a holy elite. Like, oh, yeah, like kill and massacre the entire like modern remnants. And man, her face just like
That's a pretty culture face.
free cultured, deranged. And then Ninim's like spying on the general, and like kind of seems like they're plotting to go in and like assassinate Wayne in his mansion. Oh yeah, some stuff they skipped over is that like he actually met with like some other like of the holy elites too that they didn't show in the anime, and like man, they're all just a bunch of like fucked up people.
Well, I guess. Do you think the details matter, or just more like just to set the atmosphere?
Just to set the atmosphere.
Oh, so that it's not that big of a deal. They cut it probably.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a big deal that they cut it, but like man, it's pretty like interesting. Like one guy that's known as like the artist Duke, and he's known for like having a big passion for like being like the patron for like lots of artists and bringing a lot of artists to his domain and stuff. And so when he was talking to him about like why do you like bring these artists over, and he's like, oh, trying to get inspiration. I want to find an artist who can make a work that can inspire me to be an artist. And then he went talking on about like the nature of inspiration and stuff like that. So part of it's like achievements and gains. So like giving people like big things and like expecting more out of them, and having them try like up themselves each time.
Yeah.
And then oh, what about the other? What you said there are two things. What's the other thing? And it said like loss. Like people become really inspired when they experience loss, and then like so what the guy did was that like he would like crush heirlooms in front of people. He would like murder their wives and children in front of the artists. He would sometimes take an artist to like their hometown and just raise the village to the ground, like get them to feel a lot of loss. And he said like, oh man, the best works are the ones where like the artist just like tears their own blood out to like paint, and then just like stab themselves in the neck afterwards. And it's like, oh shit, he's insane. And then we meet this girl, this like when they first met this nun, like she was supposed to be like like talking to this like little girl who's being bullied in school, and the girl's like, oh, like what should I do? And then it's just like says, it has like this like holy mother face, and she's like, oh, you create a vortex of despair. You make your bullies despair. You make their accomplices despair. You make the people who just like were just like looking around and doing nothing despair. And then you throw yourself into despair. And then like only after like all of you overcome this despair together can you like forgive them. And then like they'll forgive you and blah 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 blah.
That sounds more reasonable.
Yeah. Usually I would be totally on board with the whole like throwing them into despair part, until the part where she's like, oh, and then you throw yourself into despair too, and I was like,
You have to go all in.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, the way she's like portrayed and described more, like she's pretty much like the Joker in Batman, where like oh, like some people just want to watch the world burn.
Oh.
So she's that kind of character.
But sexier.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I mean, look at these big knockers.
Oh my god.
Like pretty and like oh, this cultured face and like those big knockers. Like, oh man, this is way better than like Batman Joker.
Oh my god. You must be stopped.
But yeah, quite a lot of culture this week.
Always cultured.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a few shows that we kind of missed out on watching, so we'll probably have to catch up on some stuff, probably.
Yeah, we need to catch up on a.k.a. thingy, I guess. And then
I need to make you despair.
God damn it, a.k.a. and then you have that other like gender bender like Fushishoko show.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's more.
Yeah, there's probably more.
There's probably more, but like, man, I guess like we haven't been watching much because like you've been working, and then I've also been sick, like kind of like fucked up and sick from like, I mean it's probably allergies or something, but I just spontaneously get like really sick once in a while. It's just kind of yeah.
Like, I think I mentioned this before. Like, I think maybe you're just cursed. It's like, oh, my curse is acting up again.
Man, I'm not that chuny.
You could be.
Damn. Man,
You could be.
if I were cursed, I want to have a cool curse instead of just like pathetic curse.
No, you're gonna have a lame one.
God damn it! Fuck this bitch.
You're gonna be like that one thing from the Monkey Show, like, oh god, what was her name, Arturia? Where like she had like super bad luck.
Oh god.
You're gonna have that.
Damn. Man, that monkey show was like way more entertaining than it had any right to be.
Monkey.
So
So you do love it.
I don't love it. I just kind of enjoy it a little bit, I guess.
Okay, that's the same thing.
God damn it. Well, yeah, we haven't seen any figures of that show.
Yeah, they better release that monkey.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's basically it for the week.
Yeah, I guess let's wrap it up. Anything else you want to add?
I think that should be it.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe we'll gotcha sometime. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, as always, anime was a mistake. I'm very cultured.
Oh my god. Bye guys.
Bye.